Brooklyn Independent Television.
Straight ahead on Sector B, the business of Brooklyn. How local can you go? This Cobble Hill shop only sells products made right here.
We just started carrying Brooklyn-made potting soil and compost.
Wow.
They're also keyed into cutting-edge web marketing.
When I make my purchase, she gives me the stamp.
Which means,
We're cool, we're hip.
sure, your business has a website too, but is it really working for you yet? Some provocative questions from an expert.
Are you doing the things to help that website get found? How is your search engine optimization? Have you done everything you can to get your Google Places listing up and running?
Building a brand in Crown Heights, these two young entrepreneurs are determined to do it all themselves.
I'm a photographer, I'm the editor, I'm the graphic designer. I also do food prep.
Maybe the real juice here is passion juice.
It's love of flavor and love for your body as well.
And this woman needed a place to bring her dog every day. So she took the bulldog by the horns and started a business. So what's a day in doggy daycare really like?
A lot of playing and a lot of mopping.
So sit, stay, and get with the program.
Good girl.
Hello, I'm Randy Piers. Welcome to Sector B, the business of Brooklyn on Brooklyn Independent Television. We're living at a time when there are two major trends happening, which at first glance look like they're in conflict with each other. One is the buy local movement, which is the basis of the Cobble Hill retail business you're about to enter. The second trend, by contrast, has no geography. It's all about doing business in digital space, using apps to help a business build, track, and retain its customer base. Sector B's Tati Amari brings the two together for us.
When you want to find something made in Brooklyn, the place to go is By Brooklyn in Carroll Gardens.
A book written by a Brooklyn author I sell in my store. I know it's not necessarily published here, but the creative process is taking place here. Something that is bottled and packaged and shipped from somewhere else and happens to say Brooklyn on it, not going to be sold in my store.
You won't find it in By Brooklyn.
No, you will not find it in By Brooklyn. Because there are actually these little candles, and they have the name of the borough, or the neighborhood. Yeah, so each one has its own little neighborhood and its own little scent profile associated with it.
Open for just over a year, everything in this store is an authentic piece of Brooklyn, from the locally crafted jewelry to a variety of food items, and they even have a few unexpected goods.
I think to really demonstrate the array of product and goods that we sell, we just started carrying Brooklyn-made potting soil and compost.
Wow.
For all those urban farmers out there, urban farming is really picking up in popularity. But really it's about having some appeal and interest, both because it's made here in Brooklyn, but also because of the quality of the product itself.
But even in busy Carroll Gardens, known for plenty of foot traffic, By Brooklyn still turns to the web and new technology to generate business.
I use social media, so I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Foursquare, promoting deals with those different opportunities. It's part of where we are in today's society. That's how people are connecting, that's how people find out about what the newest, greatest, coolest thing is, and I use those tools as well in my day-to-day life outside of the store, so it makes sense to use them in the store.
And according to a survey conducted by merchantcircle.com, small businesses are turning to social media for their marketing needs, with an estimated 70% of small businesses using Facebook and 40% of small businesses using Twitter. Adrienne Pasquarelli of Crane's New York Business weighed in.
I think it's really tough to survive as a retailer, as a small business, without incorporating some aspect of technology into your operations in this day and age. And I think a lot of technology, like social networks, really allow small businesses to connect directly with their customers in a way that they never could before. I think it's really helpful for those businesses to kind of get a leg up against the competition.
At By Brooklyn, they're working on getting a leg up and holding on to their current customers through a new loyalty program called PERCA.
All right, so here's how it works. You download the app called PERCA. All right, so then you select the store, you check in, and then to earn the free stamp, when I make my purchase, she gives me the stamp. Now there it goes. So now the stamp has shown up. I'm now 2 stamps away from earning my first coupon.
As soon as you get your coupon,
And that's it. And each store can set up their own, their own plan. So,
And the more $20 stamps, the better the coupons. And PERCA seems to lend to the business's credibility as well.
I think it also makes people realize that we are kind of on the cutting edge. We're cool, we're hip, we've got this cool thing going on, and that we're trying to stay on top of things. And I think that gives a good image of what we are trying to represent here. Yeah. Thank you so much. They're sterling silver, absolutely gorgeous. Someone can walk in here looking for that random bizarre gift for that odd occasion, like the parent of the child that you're adopting, or the necklace to wear to a funeral of someone highly respected. People come in here and can share that story with me, so I want to be able to give back to them for having that kind of trust in us.
For Sector B, I'm Tati Amara.
But yeah, it's been great. I've lived here for...
As shoppers, many of us are already very familiar with the whole e-commerce scene. We check out multiple views of a pair of shoes, read user reviews to figure out which microwave to buy, save 50% on a meal with a Groupon, and yes, wait for those pop-up ads to finally finish. But the fact is, a whole lot of small business owners still don't have websites, or at least good ones, and don't necessarily know how to get the most out of the web. But that's just what today's guest is good at. Patrick McLaughlin is the Director of Business Development at Web.com. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you, Randy. I'm honored to be here today.
Tell us about Web.com. What do you do?
Web.com is a publicly traded company headquartered in Jacksonville, and our entire focus, Randy, is small business is our world. We have 3 million small businesses, and we define a small business as any company with 20 or less employees, approximately $1 million in revenue, and our entire mission is to help those small businesses navigate the world of online marketing to get found, stay found, and prosper.
And how many small businesses do you estimate do not even have a website?
Well, there's 31 million small businesses in the United States that fit that demographic of 20 employees or less. It's an estimate that 52% of those don't even have a website today.
Still don't have a website?
They don't have a website. They're focused on getting their business up and running, getting customers in the door, working with employees, and sometimes that online presence just kind of gets shuffled to the back of the priority list.
So the small businesses that do have a website,
yes.
What are some of the mistakes that they make?
Well, there's a couple, and this is kind of in a random order. They launch the website, and then they don't keep it up to date. It becomes a static website. And probably the way small businesses that are watching the show need to think about it is a website is a journey. It's not an event. It's the evolution of your business. As your business changes, if you have more locations that open up, if you've got new services like I do delivery or I do 24-hour service, it has to be the embodiment of what your business is about. If you change something in the business today, it needs to be on your website. So it's paying attention to your website. The other part is, are you doing the things to help that website get found? How is your search engine optimization? Have you done everything you can to get your Google Places listing up and running? We find a large percentage of small businesses are unfortunately undereducated on some of these things, and it's very easy to fix. So maybe they should consider engaging subject matter experts, right? Let's get away from that old model of turning the website build over to your nephew in exchange for goods or services, and let an expert do it. Like you and I were talking earlier about the fact that if we're feeling ill, we don't take upon ourselves to fix it. We call a subject matter expert called the doctor, and I encourage small businesses to do the same.
So let's talk a little bit about search engine optimization.
Yes.
Because we hear that term a lot.
Right.
I'll admit I don't know too much about it. And
right.
I run a successful nonprofit organization, so I probably should know about it.
Right.
What are the steps to optimize our search engine status?
Well, I think probably the place is to go and understand and learn how this works. So top 10,000 foot view would be Google and Bing and the other search engines will literally come and scrape and spider the sites on a frequency that's based on the number of visits. So the idea would be when these crawlers go into the site, they're looking for relevant content. Are there any new visuals? Are there any reviews? And they're capturing relevant keywords. So like you and I were talking earlier, if you're a bakery and you're focused on fresh, organic, natural, homegrown, you want to have those words in your site more than once so that Google and Bing recognize, hey, this is the business that they're in. Then those words need to be part of all of your marketing, whether it's on your Facebook page, your Twitter feed, your Foursquare account. So that is one of the key components with search is it needs to be all part of your entire marketing plan. That said, it's highly recommended that you spend time with a company similar to Web.com and other providers that can help search engine optimize each month for you. And another flaw, Randy, is the majority of the companies I work with have no idea that they need to send updates to all the search engines, all the GPS providers, all the Yellow Book directories. There's 130 of those in the United States. You have to update those each month for your business to wave their hand saying, hey, I'm over here, do business with me.
So I always thought it was really just about how many times someone clicked on my website. So it's much more involved than that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now the idea would be, let's go from an extreme. You have the bakery in Brooklyn that has a website, and I'd be shocked if they had more than 200 visits, unique visits per month. Now, if we go to Bank of America, they're having 200 visits per second, right? So there are different ways to make that work, and it's just not about visits. It's about what those visits do as part of what the people do after that search, so they know, hey, where have these people gone, and what else is happening on that search, because we talked earlier, the holy grail is getting that search result above the fold of the bottom of your computer. So you want to have the top 3 or 4 organic search results. And it just doesn't happen by accident. You have to be engaged with this. You know, a thing I like to say in a lot of my class that I conduct, it's not only not an event, it's something you need to feed daily. You need to pay attention to your website. It's as important as the water line or the gas line into your business to keep the lights on.
So you think a lot of small business owners just don't have the time, so they neglect it?
The small business conundrum is what we anchor a lot of our positioning on at Web.com would be. Small businesses don't have the time, resources, or personnel to navigate the online presence. And they don't have people that know how to do web design. They don't have people that know how to do SEO, set up a Facebook page, manage their Twitter account. And that's all critical in keeping the business open. So they are not subject matter experts. And usually I close some of my classes saying, don't try to do this by yourself. Engage with people that can, again, take this, manage it, and you enjoy and focus on what you're good at, running your business.
And what about sort of inadequate content, or maybe they're not telling the full story? Do you have examples where that happens? I can imagine a lot of small businesses don't even tell the full story about their product or their service.
Well, it's interesting. At Web.com, we conduct a 30 to 45 minute interview with the business that's looking to do a website. So we had a story with this plumber. I actually listened to the call, and he was out in Massachusetts, out in the Cape, and we let off while they're interviewing saying, well, tell us about your business. And he said, well, aren't plumbers equal plumbers equal plumbers? I said, well, no, tell us about yours. Well, how old are you? He said, well, we're 130 years old. We were founded in the late 1880s. Well, that's a unique point of difference, right? So Randy, then we went on to ask, what's a unique thing that you do? Well, we're the only 24-hour plumber on Cape Cod. Okay, that's an interesting point of difference, because that goes back to the business strategy. Does your website speak to the value benefit that you have in the marketplace, right? So on the walk over here today, I engaged with one of your local businesses, and I walked away knowing, again, fresh, organic, and natural, that has to be living on her website as well, which we know it is. The plumber, he saw the light, he had real value that I've been in business for 130 years. I'm the only guy that does 24-hour operation in Cape Cod, and I specialize in winterization of all those fancy summer homes that people live in. So we can help. Companies like me can help get that point of difference.
Is it just about websites anymore now? We hear a lot about social networking and Facebook and the like.
No, I think a business owner needs to think of a circle being drawn around their business. And in the front is the door to the bricks and mortar, right? And then to the left may be your website, or is your website. Behind you could be Facebook. On the right-hand side would be Twitter or Foursquare. You have to pay attention to all of those. There's a very interesting stat coming out of Facebook that 77% of millennial-aged or Gen Y-aged shoppers or consumers start their search for a service or product on Facebook. They don't start on Google. So for example, it would be, if a young man is looking for a new car, he might say, hey buddies, to his group of friends, I'm looking at a new car. I really like the new Camaro. What does anybody think? So he served up an opinion to a trusted group of friends. Then when he gets the feedback, What's he going to do next? He'll go to Google then saying, tell me about the Camaro. So each one of those pieces, website, Facebook, Twitter, Foursquare, they've got to be congruent, they've got to be aligned, and you have to have a consistent message because your shopper, this group of 18 to 32 for the most part, they're going to be surfing around all of those to figure out what your business is
So it really
about.
is an integrated system.
Totally
of
integrated.
online marketing.
Right.
And just briefly, you also teach a course for small business services for the city of New York, right?
Right.
Want to tell us quickly about that?
Yeah, so I teach a course called Website Fundamentals and also an adjunct course, if you will, called Get Found, Stay Found, and Prosper. And that's the little trim I came up with because I wanted people to have a sticky and portable message when they left. Patrick is going to help me get my business found, keep it found, and prosper, because that really is about opening up that website. Is it functional and relevant? Am I taking care of it to keep myself found? And I should see the benefits coming out of this with increased profit.
That's a free class.
That's
given
a free
through
class.
Department of Small Business
Exactly.
Services. Great.
Yes.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
If all of the talk of robust websites and search engine optimization has made you thirsty, you're in luck. How does a bottle of pineapple ginger juice sound? But will it sell in a neighborhood short on healthy food options? At a new store in Crown Heights, two young entrepreneurs hope they have a blend that's to their neighbors' liking.
Hi, I'm good. How are you today?
Good.
Yeah?
I want a lot of stuff today.
You do? Okay, let's see. What would you like?
Do you have any cucumber glow?
Yes, small and larges.
Too large?
Too large, okay.
We love juice, and we want to be able to produce it and get it to people in the most loving way, without pasteurizing it, without adding anything artificial to it. Where it's just more than just flavor. It's it's love of flavor and love for your body as well. So that's really what Juice Hugger is all about. We advocate hugging life.
What about food?
Soups?
Yeah.
Curry lentil?
Okay, and that's a large curry lentil?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I decided to start this business because I was overweight. I was at 218 pounds, so I decided to make a change. And because I incorporated juices and salads and soups into my diet, it became something that became my lifestyle. And it eventually became a business. So, I wanted to be able to spread health to other people and let others experience the change that I was able to create in my life.
Just the one juicy green? What about, you want a small pineapple ginger? Do you like that one? Okay.
I called Kelly and said, hey, I've got this idea for a juice bar, brand, and I think it'll do really well. She encouraged me to do it here in New York. I was in California at the time.
There you are. I actually worked in the entertainment industry at the time, and I'd heard a lot about people wanting to do juice cleanses, which essentially is what he was doing. He was cleansing his body through the juices that he was making. There are several companies that do bottled beverages in Manhattan, but there wasn't anything in Brooklyn. So I said, if you bring it to Brooklyn, I think that if we could find, a community of people that maybe already get it in Manhattan but are looking for an offshoot in Brooklyn, how fantastic would that be? Well, the alkaline water is at 9.5, so you know that it helps to hydrate you faster, helps to detox faster. I know you go to the gym a lot, so this is probably really great to drink before and after the gym. Yeah. So we were able to find this location with a rent that would allow us to be able to offer our juices at a rate for the everyday consumer, so that it's sort of a preventative health measure. And so we're teaching people as well how to tweak their current diet and to replace things in the diet which just are causing them a lot of issues with digestion and health. Ready? 10-18. Yeah, the neighborhood was really excited when we opened. I mean, people are still discovering us because we're sort of off the beaten path. We're not on one of the major retail locations in Crown Heights, which would normally be Nostrand Avenue or Franklin Avenue. We're on Rogers, which is a lot more residential. We wanted that because we wanted kind of a niche, very intimate sort of place without sort of high traffic and too much happening outside. But now people are going for walks and bike rides, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah!" And they think that we just arrived, which is great because we needed that ramp-up period ourselves to be able to kind of educate consumers and get our business together, basically.
Have a good day.
We were told that our juices wouldn't sell at the rate that they are, and that people don't care about health in Crown Heights and in urban communities, that we should probably, build something on the Upper West Side or in Manhattan, and we just knew that that wasn't right. So all of the money, are from our own dollars or from, family, right, that helped open this establishment because we wanted to prove to people that they weren't right, and they weren't.
Yeah, so this is the spinach, kale, celery, apple, and lemon. I know you had the juicy green, the cucumber glow yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, right?
How many businesses get started because an individual says, hey, I'm always wishing someone would provide this or that service. Why don't I just do it myself? That's what happened in the next story. In Cobble Hill, Sector B's Sherry Carabin brings us a day in the life of an entrepreneur who caters both to 2- and 4-legged customers.
I opened Monster Mutt in 2001, so we've been open almost 11 years now. I had a dog who had separation anxiety, and she barked her head off all day while I was at work. And there was nowhere to leave her, and my neighbors kept calling the police. I needed a job that I could take my dog to work. And one day I was flipping through the catalog of the Learning Annex, and there was a seminar on how to open your own doggy daycare, and that's how Monster Mutt came to be. Maggie had a lovely time. She played well with others, and she doesn't have a scratch on her nose. Initially, there was a ton of work, and I was working 100 hours a week. We're open about 100 hours a week. But now I've got an excellent staff, and I spend 3 or 4 days a week here, and the rest of the time the staff runs the place. I have 7 people working for me.
I've been here for 4 years, and I started working here. This is my first job ever. Started working here because I love animals. Can't really see myself doing anything else. I like taking care of them. I like the kisses, the unbiasedness. They don't care if I come in here with my hair messed up, anything. They love me either way.
I do a little bit of everything. I run the front office. I do all of the paperwork, all of the bookkeeping. I deal with the clients.
She has a bath, right?
I hope so.
Yes, that was the plan. I just wanted to make sure.
The most important thing in running a doggy daycare is the safety and the care of the dogs. We pre-screen all of the dogs that come here. They're vaccinated, they're spayed and neutered. They also have to come in for an interview to make sure they're all going to get along well and play well with each other. But still, it's a lot like a schoolyard, and once in a while some of the dogs are going to get into a scuffle, and we really need to be careful to make sure that everybody's safe and that nothing bad happens. It's an all-indoor dog run, so the dogs play all indoors. They don't go out for walks because we don't feel like it's secure enough. And there are 3 main play areas, and they're split up by size and temperament. Basically, we spend our days cleaning up after them. That's our job. It's very glamorous. We mop the whole place from front to back every hour and a half, and then hose the place down with veterinary disinfectant at the end of the night every night. We don't do grooming, we do training classes. Most of our clients are from the Cobble Hill, Carroll Gardens area, but we do have a lot of clients who come from Park Slope and other areas of Brooklyn, people with cars. When we first opened, people came from all over Brooklyn. We were the only doggy daycare in the area. But now there are many more doggy daycares, so we have fewer clients spread out.
Pudding biscuits?
They should be right on the back of there if you want to just grab one and look at the back. Otherwise, I can come out and do that. We do a little bit of retail here. It's more of a doggy boutique than a pet store. The retail that we sell mainly is consumables because the clients are repeat clients. They're picking up their dog every day from daycare. There's an animal hospital that opened across the street, and we've had much more demand for more boutique items since they opened because they treat it like their local gift shop. $3.26. I would have said the downturn in the economy affected our business, but the truth is I really think that the more competition affected our business more than the downturn in the economy. We had a relatively recession-proof clientele because it's sort of a luxury business. There you go. Enjoy. It's great. It's much better than a real job. Have a good day.
That's it this month from Sector B. If you want to check out any of the companies or programs we have just featured, their phone numbers and links are about to roll across your screen. To see past episodes of the show, go to our website at bricartsmedia.org/BIT and then click on Sector B. And you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter on BK Independent TV. I'm Randy Piers. Thanks for watching.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at bricartsmedia.org/BIT.